COVID-19 cases increasing in the Palouse. What could this mean for Whitman County and nearby cities?
The date for employees to have their first Pfizer shot is
Broadcasting studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Doyle D'Angelo.
And I'm Dakota Cruz. Welcome to Murrow News 8. Washington State's long-term care payroll tax plan will be troublesome for out-of-state workers. Starting January 1st, Washington employers must deduct $290 a year for someone with an annual wage of $50,000. The maximum benefit of the program is $36,500 for services such as nursing, in-home personal care, and assisted living. Of SCL's 2,600 Washington employees, 1,000 live in Idaho, and they will not benefit from the fund unless they relocate to Washington.
Local health agencies are tracking a high amount of new COVID cases on the Palouse, as there are 75 new cases reported on Tuesday. Whitman County reported 31 new cases and 3 hospitalizations.
WSU President Kirk Schultz is appointing Dr. Ellen Taylor as the interim vice president for the Division of Student Affairs. Taylor will be taking over for Dr. Mary Jo Gonzalez, who is currently on leave. Taylor took over Student Affairs last Thursday. She was announced interim vice president the next day. Taylor has served previously as WSU's Senior Associate Vice President for Student Engagement.
Author Annette Bay Pimentel is set to discuss her latest children's book this Saturday at a youth focus event in Moscow. The book, titled Pura's Cuentos, How Pura Belpre Reshaped Libraries with Her Story, focuses on the real-life story of a Puerto Rican librarian. The event will take place at the Kenworthy Performing Arts Center, where an interactive story time will begin at 11 a.m. Face masks are required.
A team led by Washington State University is conducting fundamental research to capture carbon dioxide out of the air to mitigate climate change. Hong-Fai Lin, leader of the team, has proposed to use ionic liquids for direct air capture of carbon dioxide and then use catalytic processes to convert the carbon dioxide with ethane into useful compounds. Lin says the idea is to convert the carbon dioxide to valuable chemicals that can be sold at profit, which then could be used to subsidize the cost of carbon storage.
The Washington State University employee vaccination deadline is fastly approaching. Orders given by Governor Jay Inslee says that all members of faculty will need at least the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine by September 13th. Everyone will need to be fully vaccinated by October 18th, and the exemptions are only allowed for religious and medical reasons. Lastly, for anyone that was planning to get the Moderna vaccine, the deadline has already passed, which was September 6th.
It is currently Suicide Awareness Week, which not only aims to highlight the struggles that many people go through with their mental health, but also to let people know how to identify the warning signs and help someone who might need it. The surrounding community takes this issue seriously and provides multiple resources to combat it. These resources include Cougar Health Services for students, Palouse River Counseling, the National Prevention, and the Whitman County Suicide Prevention and Resiliency Task Force.
The largest state employee union in Washington has reached a tentative agreement over the implementation of Governor Inslee's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Under the agreement, union members are still required to be completely vaccinated by October 18th, but the deal does allow employees to use work time to get the vaccine, and they will be granted one additional personal leave day in 2022 as a vaccine incentive. Due to an unvaccinated student having a 102 fever during the last football game, WSU is now taking action. Washington State Athletics is going to be requiring everyone over 12 years of age to show proof of vaccination. An alternative is to bring in a negative COVID test 72 hours before the game. WSU will release more information about this in October. The Palouse Empire Fair opens today. Stay tuned to hear when you can attend.
A showcase showdown is on its way. A popular game show is filming in Spokane. Stay tuned to hear how you can get tickets.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
The Price is Right is filming 2 shows at the Northern Quest Resort and Casino. The popular game show will be filming both shows on November 13th, one at 4:30 p.m. and one at 7:30 p.m. Tickets go on sale to the public on September 10th at 9 a.m. And in true Price is Right fashion, randomly selected participants will have the opportunity to walk away with cash and prizes. The Palouse Habitat for Humanity and WSU's School of Design and Construction are planning to build energy-efficient, affordable housing. The goal is to provide affordable housing for low to moderate income families who are in need of shelter. For those interested, you can fill out and submit an application, and if selected, you will receive sweat equity in the building process.
The Palouse Empire Fair is back, and the gates open today at 8 a.m. The fair will run today through Sunday at the fairgrounds just west of Colfax. There will be 2 Palouse Empire Rodeo shows Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m., along with lots of other classic fair attractions. Tickets are $8 for adults, $5 for kids K through 12, and $7 for those 55 and up.
We've had lots of sunny skies this week, but will they stick around for the weekend? Let's toss it over to Sydney Garner with our weather report.
Hi guys, yeah, it's a warm one out there, still a little hazy because of all that smoke, but we've got a high of 84 and a low of 56. Now let's take a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow looking pretty similar to today, a high of 82 and a low of 55. It will be sunny, but unfortunately that smoke will stick around. Now let's take a look at the state map. The state map here on the east side of the state, highs in the mid-80s, Spokane at 86, Pullman at 84, and then the middle of the state, a little bit warmer, Yakima at 89, Tri-Cities at 92. It is pretty smoky over there in the middle of the state, so if you are outside, watch out for that. Now let's take a look over at the west side, a little bit cooler per usual, Seattle at 77, and take a look into the 5cast. We are looking at a little bit cooler temperatures as the week goes on. Highs dip into the 70s. Overnight lows into the 40s. You may need to wear a jacket in the mornings and in the evenings. And then some rain on Friday, but nothing to worry about. We will be back to sunny skies on Saturday for CFS. And then sunny into next week. Thanks, guys. Back to the desk.
Here who's playing in the women's soccer game against Seattle U. Will they continue their streak?
WSU football plays again this Saturday. How will they play against Portland State? Isaiah Sharp has all that information coming up next.
It feels like no matter where you look, the state of the world's getting worse. Oceans full of plastic, an endless amount of waste, an impossible task ahead of fixing our beloved planet. But change can't happen if you do nothing. So here's where you should start. Reduce. Why? Because Americans produce more than 200 million tons of waste every year, and you don't want to add to that. Reuse. Why? Because reusing and repurposing cuts back on unnecessary waste, and it gives things a chance at new life. Recycle. Why? Because recycling creates jobs. It helps our community and it helps our planet. And after doing all this, what will we be left with? We'll be left with a planet that will slowly start to heal. We'll be
Washington State women's soccer is back in action tomorrow. The Cougs will take on Seattle U in Pullman, looking to keep their 10-game home win streak alive. WSU is coming off of their largest win in the last 2 decades, defeating Hawaii 7-0. Defensive back Bridget Reichen will come into this as the reigning Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week after leading the Cougs to back-to-back shutouts. Well, it looks like this week we may know who is starting at quarterback before Saturday's game. Head coach Nick Rolovich, in an interview on Monday, said simply, "We anticipate going with Jaden." This comes with unfortunate news as Rolovich expanded on quarterback Jarrett Guarantano's injuries from Saturday's contest, saying they could be season-ending. Guarantano was sacked for a safety in the first quarter, suffering a leg injury. Well, looking to join the 12th man this season, you're going to need more than just a ticket. The Seahawks announced all attendees over the age of 12 will be required to show proof of full COVID vaccination or a negative COVID test 72 hours prior to the game. Guests at Lumen Field will also be required to wear a mask in accordance to King County's mask mandate. The Hawks play their first home game September 19th against Tennessee. Well, college football heads into week 2 with some key top 25 matchups. The Oregon Ducks, sitting at number 12 in the nation, will take on number 3 Ohio State in a key Pac-12 versus Big Ten matchup. In other Big Ten play, the Cy Hawk Trophy will be claimed this weekend by either number 10 Iowa or number 9 Iowa State. Little bit of fun in-state action there. The Cougs are also going to be back in action this Saturday as they take on Portland State. Kickoff for the Cougs is going to be at 3 this weekend. And also in other news, the Mariners just finished up their game, a big win against their division rivals Astros, 8-5. A couple of big hits by J.P. Crawford and Jose Marmoleos to close out that game. Wonderful to see the Mariners doing well. About 2.5 games back in the wild card race. The Blue Jays are sitting just above them at this moment. But hopefully the Cougs have got the Mariners have got an opportunity coming up to take that wild card spot and close out the drought that has lasted for 20 years. And back to you guys at the desk.
Do your grandparents enjoy a thrill?
See where you can take your grandparents for free this weekend to enjoy some theme park fun.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Silverwood Theme Park will celebrate grandparents this week on September 11th and 12th. The park wants to show its appreciation for grandparents by admitting them to the park for free if accompanied by their grandchild. For each grandchild that purchases a ticket, they will be given 1 free ticket for the grandma or grandpa. For more information, visit silverwoodthemepark.com. Thanks for watching. If you missed anything during the show or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/MurrowNews8, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night.